How's it going, guys? Darkkiller598 here, back with a brand new Star Wars Empire War mod called Halo Covenant at War. This was developed by Apex Studios, and they've been at this for a really long time, and I've been looking forward to this one for a very long time. And this isn't the full mod, it's just a you could call it a demo, and all we can do is you do space battles. There's no land battles at all. So seeing as it's just a demo and we've only got a space, we must just jump in straight into space. And for the first part of this mod, we're going to look at the Covenant side. I know there's only space, but there is a lot of in-depth for both sides, so we'll get into it. First off, this is the level 1 Covenant space station. The reason it's all grey is because they haven't coloured it in when they released it, or they didn't skin it, is that what they say? It's meant to be all purple basically, but they didn't have time to colour it in before the mod was released, so please excuse that. I'm sure it would look fine when it's finished anyway. Next is the mining facilities. It's a bit harder to find out what the mining facilities are, because this is what they are. Just giant rocks, and when they're built, that's all they are as well. There's nothing different about them, so it can be a little bit confusing. Next up, we have our first Covenant units coming out of slip space, technically. These are Covenant corvettes, mainly from what I'm assuming the Covenant corvettes from Halo Reach, but yeah, it doesn't look like him. It may be from like Halo Legends, because they went all depth into the Halo storyline to find all the ships. They did go into stuff like all the Halo games, the Halo books, the Halo Legends, as I said. Anyway, this is the Covenant space station, which starts off with all of its hard points damaged for some reason. I'm not sure why, but once we upgrade it to level 2, then they usually repair themselves. So this is space station level 1. We're about to see it become level 2 now. This is the level 2 of the Covenant space station. I'm going to take you through all the steps. So this is level 2 now. Level 3 is this. Just a couple add-ons to each side. We're going to go straight to level 4 as well. So the level 4 space station, and not much difference. And we're going to go straight into level 5 right now, and we're going to start bringing in the rest of the Covenant units. And here's the level 5 space station. Again, it would have looked much better when it's coloured in, but they didn't have the time to, so please excuse them for that. Now we're going to start bringing in the Covenant ships. The thing about the Covenant ships, or the Covenant side, excuse me, is that they don't have much types of ships. They've only got about 5 units for the space sides, but each one is very powerful in their own strength. They made the Covenant a little bit overpowered because they wanted to go full Halo depth, because the UNSC is meant to lose the space battles in the human Covenant war in Halo. And so yeah, the Covenant ships are few in numbers, or few in different varieties, but all of them have their own strengths. And we're about to bring in one of the ships right now. This ship is called a Covenant Destroyer. These were from the ships from Halo Wars. You know, from when the Prophet can use its cleansing beam. So these are the Destroyer classes from Halo Wars. The models do look quite good. Does sound the sounds of the lasers as well looks quite good as well. And as you can see, the space, this isn't the usual Star Wars background space. They've redone this space as well, so it looks quite good, but sometimes I find that it might be hard to find my units, especially with the Covenant, seeing as the background's more purpley. But that's just me. I don't know if it could be for anyone else. This mod has been in production for quite a while, and I was hoping for a little bit more than this, but you know what, this is perfectly fine. All the models are good, all of the sounds are good. Not much like ship voices from like the Covenants saying that we should, you know, order us here and so on. Here you can see my AI is dominating with Seraph fighters and Seraph bombers. which are also from Reach. The Seraph bombers aren't from Reach, the fighters are from when you do the space battle in the Reach mission. Excuse me. And this is more in depth of the Covenant Destroyer. Again, looks quite good. Could be in more detail, I think, though. And our AI has just called in a CSS cruiser, which is just basically a Covenant frigate you see from the majority of the Halo games. This does look quite good. Again, it could be improved, like adding a skin, like more in-depth color to it. I'm not sure, because from different Halo games I've seen them to look like this. I also see them to look more purpley, so I don't know, I'm just saying what I think. And at last we have the Covenant Assault Carrier, and this one I think they worked their hardest on. It looks exactly like it, and yeah, this one just looks super awesome, super cool. The thing about these Covenant ships as well, each one of them has a special ability called Cleanse Beam, which is just basically the cleansing beam from each of the Covenant ships. I find that power to be the cleansing to be a little bit overpowered. You'll see why in a minute. Because it can just take down anything in one hit, and the recharge rate on it is probably fair, but still, because it's on all the Covenant ships, I find it to be a bit overpowered. And it's on the Destroyer, the frigates, and the assault carriers. And see, we have there's only two types of Covenant weapons on the ships. The cyan lasers, which is just the Covenant lasers, and then we've got a plasma torpedo, which is just those torpedoes hitting the UNSC station, as you can see there. And yeah, so the Covenant don't have much in their arsenal. All their ships are quite powerful. They've got their own. They haven't got much different abilities. Like, for example, the assault carrier there can deploy fighters. It can't manually deploy it itself, so you have to click the button to do it. I don't know why they did that, but oh well, it doesn't matter much. And like I said, the energy projector, basically the cleansing beam. The Covenant destroyers there, as you can see, can self-destruct, and they can create a plasma storm. I don't know what that is yet. You have to see it. Anyway, the cleansing beam I find is to be a bit overpowered, because we're going to see it take down the space station in a minute, and you can see it's got about half the health right now. And when I'm about to fire the cleansing beam, it will just take it out completely. And there's the cleansing beam a little bit off, and there goes the station. So I do find the cleansing beam to be a bit overpowered. But you know, this is only the first version of Covenant at War, and it's only technically a demo, so you know, there's stuff to improve on. So, but overall, it's a good demo. Anyway, join back for part 2 when we look at the UNSC side.